So, just wanted to help you understand why your leads are not turning into bookings with context too. Like, these are mistakes that we've made, we've learned through experience, and that's why I'm trying to show you what works and what doesn't. It'll be a shorter video today. So, when it comes to the actual lead itself, we want to make sure that they're higher quality more than anything. This is just an example of a landing page for one of our partners where we have a survey that they fill, we show the work, we show benefits of SMP, we show their reviews too, right? Plus, this is just a broader banner where we make sure that they're aware that it's not hair transplant. It's something that did help. Right now, we have removed it for some partners. It just depends. It can help, but it is just a bold, plain banner in case you have people who think that it is a hair transplant. You want to be very clear that it's not and that it is a tattoo if you're doing SMP, right? Just helps. So this type of landing page, they fill in a survey. An example of a lead and the information that they give is something like this, where you get their name, their phone number, you get how they prefer to be contacted, when they're looking to get SMP done, do they understand that it's SMP and not hair transplant, and also the type of hair loss. So this way you get context. You get somebody who is more committed to it. They themselves have said that they want to get it done within a week, 2 weeks, a month, right? For example. And you're able to approach your consultation, your call a lot better. That is why this type of lead quality matters. Now, beyond that, also, when we're talking about leads and why they're not converting, one very important thing you might have heard this is something called speed to lead. What that refers to is how quickly you're calling and contacting somebody that has inquired with you. In general, there will be a few different studies depending on the industry, on the exact number, but the fundamentals are very similar, where regardless of the industry, if you reach out in the first 5 minutes, you just have a 5 to 10x higher chance of making them qualified than if it was later on. Some studies have said that it's up to 21 times more likely. So this is just to show you, right? Like, the longer you take, the less qualified these calls will actually become, the less chances you'll have of making these people into a consultation and thus a booking. Because people's intent is something that wanes over time, they get distracted, they get busy with life, essentially. And this is also why, like, in our team, we have somebody who specifically handles inquiries Monday to Saturday. And that's what I'd recommend you to do too. If you're alone, also, at least during business hours, make sure you reach out to them as soon as possible. If not, get somebody who can help you out with that. Now, beyond that, when it comes to the other reasons why you may be losing out on inquiries, losing out on bookings is no structured booking flow, right? If you don't have an appropriate way of dealing with inquiries, if you don't have it structured, and you don't approach the calls in the right way, like if you try to sell on the call, that is a big no go, right? You don't want to convince people to get your procedure on the call. You want to take it step by step. Here's what I do generally: it's that you want to sell the consultation on the call, and then during the consultation you want to sell the transformation. That is how you actually bring in bookings, instead of just trying to sell the specifics of the procedure, the technicalities, like that doesn't sell. Other than that, another reason is weak offer clarity on the landing page. Like, if you don't have a strong offer or it's confusing, it's going to affect the intent of people. Then again, like, if you don't have any sort of offer, like if you have more experience, you don't have any sort of discount, that's completely fine. Offer can also refer to the way that you look at your procedure and the way you're presenting it, how you communicate it. What does your customer get in return for the money that they're paying you? That is what the offer refers to, and that's why we want to have a strong offer and proper clarity. Next thing is inconsistent or low energy communication, something I've also learned through experience, and something that you'd probably know. It sounds obvious, but it's true. People don't like talking to low energy people. If you don't have the right type of communication and tonality, also your energy, you're not going to be able to communicate effectively to people. And another bonus too is don't get desperate, right? That ties in with your inconsistent and low energy communication. Never get desperate. Focus on what your customer, your client will get from your procedure and the transformation that it can get them. Don't make it about you, make it about them, if that makes sense. And the last thing is no tracking, right? No tracking of who booked, who dropped. In general, you're not going to ever get 100% of the leads to convert. That's just not how it works, because it is a lead. But you want to be able to track to see what you're doing and see where the gap is. See, first of all, the cost per inquiry and the type of inquiry. I've mentioned ranges in the previous video. 15 to $25 is fine for a normal Facebook lead form. 25 to $60 is fine for a landing page. Depends on your offer. That's why there's a range there. Your portfolio, your creatives, how convincing your communication is. That also makes a difference. Like, and I mean basically in your media and your brand. So that is what affects the cost per lead. You want that to be right. You also want to track how many leads you're getting, how many of them were called on time, how many of those became consultations, and how many of those became bookings. This way, when you're tracking metrics, you see where the bottleneck is and you see where the issue is. A lot of the reasons why people think that ads don't work, why leads don't work, is because they don't track their numbers. And if you don't track your numbers, you don't know where the issue is. That's exactly why working with somebody who has a CRM, for example, where we have one, we literally have a pipeline where we see all of the inquiries, we see how many of them became consultations, how many of them became bookings, and we also see the speed to lead to. Like, that's something else that we check specifically to make sure that we always have as good of a speed to lead as we can. And this essentially just helps bring better results. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, and subscribe too. I wouldn't mind that. So have a great day. Let me know if you'll need any other topics that you would like me to address. Thanks for watching.